So the longing is that comes, it can come in different ways. Some of us are deeply longing for love, some of us are longing to be peaceful, some of us are longing for abundance, some of us are longing for uh, purpose. And the longing sometimes can be and of course the deepest longing, which we can even call as the holy longing, is the longing to be one with the divine, or to be in union with God, which quite often we experience through different states or different people, or even through ourselves. And in Christian mysticism we actually call it the holy longing. And many spiritual teachers actually say that it's not something to be ashamed of. Sometimes when we have so much of longing, we feel so ashamed. We don't want to have this desire in our heart, we don't want to have this pain, but it is taking you somewhere. And if God has planted this longing in your heart, God will fulfill it in some way. So if we look at longing as like a separation from something, and often we are seeking for it outside. So just take a moment to just investigate what is it that you deeply long for, and you may type it in the chat as one word. You don't have to give us more than that. What is it tonight, or this morning, wherever you are, or whenever you're listening to this recording? What is it that you are feeling separated from right now? What is that incompleteness in you that you're looking from outside to sort of complete you? Someone said touch, so go deeper in that. If it's touch, then what is it that touch would offer you? So we have abundance, love, myself. How beautiful, how beautiful. Sometimes you're really longing for that peace and love, togetherness, to connect with myself, to discover my true self. And that's also a very painful longing, right? Like this true self, this divine self within us, purpose, God, beautiful, peace of mind. Just reading everybody's answers. Feeling free. Like when we say living fearless, it's feeling free. Companionship again is love, belonging in some way. So for those of you who don't have an answer, think more deeply about it, because tonight you'll have an opportunity to connect with it internally. And it is, cannot find a date. That's why I'm here. How nice. I think we should start a conscious dating community. So many folks are like telling me, I just can't, I'm fed up of these apps. And Gaurav, why don't we start a conscious dating app or something? With no bad behavior allowed, but no banishing, no ghosting. But yes, so this sense of incompleteness, and think about it so you can sort of connect with that. I had this professor once, before we practice, just bear with me, I'll just share a few things and then that can just help us to set the context of practice. This since many of you said purpose, that's why this came to me. I had a professor who told us once that if you don't suppose you don't have a job right now, or you don't know what your purpose in life is, instead of struggling with really like worrying about when the job is going to come, or when you're going to find purpose, or trying to think your way through it, he said do everything in your life with purposefully, so you become one with purposefulness. So he says when you wake up in the morning and you're getting out of your bed and you have to go and brush your teeth, you brush your teeth like that's the most important job, and do it with full purpose, and do it properly. And then when you're cooking, or you're sweeping the floor, or you're folding the clothes, you do that with full purpose. And whatever you do in your day, you do it with full purpose, full purpose, full purpose. And you become one with purposefulness. And then whatever it is you're meant to, however it is you're meant to show up in the world at this time, our purpose can change. Sometimes some of us might have a deeper purpose, but our purpose can change. that is attracted to you automatically. So here we're looking at sort of coming to wholeness, and finding that missing puzzle when we're doing the practice and just becoming one with it inside in this inner reality. I would like to share, yeah, two things. I already shared this poem that day, which I loved, but let's hear it before we practice. Bear with me as I open it. This is by a lady called Victoria Erickson. She says, if you inherently long for something, become it first. If you want gardens, become the gardener. If you want love, embody love. If you want mental stimulation, change the conversation. If you want peace, exude calmness. If you want to fill your world with art, begin to paint. If you want to be valued, respect your own time. If you want to live ecstatically, find the ecstasy within yourself. This is how to draw it in day by day, inch by inch. So we can also like just think of it as an essence, that an essence. And I think that is why it is so, maybe this is just one conclusion I have, that is why it's so excruciatingly painful, because it's not that it's the person or the form. Maybe some of it is that, okay, we don't have the right job, we don't have the right house, we don't have the right partner, whatever it is. But most of it is actually like missing our own essence in the deeper sense, which is presence, love, peace, calmness. And to tap into that, especially when we're struggling with the external conditions of life, instead of sort of letting your mind rest there, you bring it in and you become your longing. It's very, very powerful. Of course, one meditation session is not going to, like, one practice is helpful, but sort of frequently visit it in the day, frequently become it in the day. For example, with love, like most of us really long for it. It's to come back to that loving essence in yourself. When you walk on the street, then you spend 2 minutes with the area pet dogs, or you offer kindness to a stranger. Be loving to yourself, connect to the feeling of love, and come into the vibration of love, so that missing part of you comes back in, and then you are whole and complete within yourself. And of course, if we want to add an incentive to that, is when we sort of come into that wholeness, then like attracts like in some way. We come into that frequency, like attracts like. The intention here is not only to just attract it, it's just to really become it. So I just would like to share something from this book a friend gave me. He has written it. It's called Oracle, and it's written by Anil, who's my friend, and he wrote it with Aarti, who he said wrote most of it. The lovely book actually, where each page has like a very pertinent question, and then they unpack it through and they're NLP and Gestalt therapists, and they do wonderful work in this world. So they unpack it in a certain way. So I would like to share something from this book, just which is close to the topic that we are talking about and that we will practice. I need to find it. Where is this? Where is my question gone? Found it. So this is like more on a psychological level, but we'll also connect it from the spiritual level. So the question is, and you can write it down, and maybe this can be a good journaling practice. Look at the time. We can journal today itself. Stream of conscious journaling. So listen to what I'm sharing, and then we'll all journal a bit before we practice. So the question is, who were you before all this happened to you? Who were you before they stepped into your life? So who were you before all this happened to you? Or who were you before they stepped into your life? So these are two questions. And this is how they explore the question. Are you with me? Yes, no? She smiled.
Sorry.
Sorry?
But what's the second sentence?
Who were you before they stepped into your life? She smiled often. She was a free spirit who loved to love. She was an independent woman who was moving towards brighter horizons with joy. She believed in magic and miracles. She believed in herself and would do things that would be exciting and fun. Visiting new places, having new experiences was something that she loved to do. And she was happy. She did not need anyone to make her happy. She had embarked on this journey of self. It was so beautiful. She was taking care of herself, and in turn, life was mirroring her energy. This is a powerful statement. She was taking care of herself, and in turn, life too was mirroring her energy. Think back at times in your life when you've touched moments like this, haven't you? I'm sure you have. And literally, life mirrors back that energy in many different ways. Start appreciating yourself. A lot of people start appreciating you. You get thank you notes. People compliment you. People value you if you value yourself. Don't value yourself, you'll meet with people who are bullying you, crossing your boundaries, not valuing you. Similarly. So, this was her till she met him. This is where the problem begins. And slowly it began to shift. The sweet taste of love enticed her. Now she had someone to share her experiences with and speak with. There was this someone who spoke sweet nothings to her. He touched her in ways she was never touched before, told her stories she had not heard, painted a picture she wanted to be a part of. She allowed it, and unconsciously, this person became the center of her existence because it felt so good. Yeah. Have you been in love and had this moment and then feel so good, and then you forget everything else in your life, and this person just becomes like the center of your universe? She couldn't stop thinking about him. She wanted to be with him all the time. She wanted to speak to him, love him, take care of him, pamper him, surprise him, and it was just all about him. He had become her world. Unfortunately, what she didn't see was that she had started to remove herself from the equation. She started to remove herself from the equation. It was always him before her. It became all about him. His voice, his choice was louder than hers. She planned her days to suit his and edited her plans when he had time to meet her. She waited on him and stared at the phone. Her life was taking a back seat. She started to feel very restless and forlorn. Complaints kicked in, fights followed, misery crept into a perfect world that had her as a protagonist. She cried, wept, and her heart felt as though it was pierced with a sharp knife. She did not know whether to blame him or herself. She did not know what she was constantly missing. Eventually, she realized, eventually, she realized that what she had been missing was herself. The parts she let go of, the freedom she felt, the voice that she silenced. What she realized, and this is very true actually, usually in client, and this is a question I've asked myself and also to clients, I'm a therapist as well, and when they're constantly like complaining, or couples come into therapy and they say she is not doing this and he is not doing this and she is not giving me this, I ask them this one question: what are you needing from this partner, and they
Okay.
say, we need attention, I need like this, I need my feelings to be validated, I don't want to be neglected anymore, I want my voice to be heard. And then I say, or I want to be appreciated. A lot of men say this, so much criticism, she never appreciates me. And then I say, are you giving this to yourself? And then there's always a pause, and they say, shit, yes, I'm not giving this to myself. you know Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you have to be in a relationship where people are like mistreating you or things like that. But we can't control the others. We can offer these things to ourselves. So this is so beautiful. So she said eventually she realized that what she had missing was herself, the paths she let go of, the freedom she felt, and the voice she silenced. Who was responsible for all of this? Who silenced her voice? Did she not have a choice? Could she not honor both? Did it have to be either him or her? What awareness could save this? What awareness could save this? What a lovely question, right? What awareness could save this? So, they're asking us to reflect on some things. And maybe you might not understand, like some of you might understand this as relationally, you may relate to it. How many of us can relate to this? Yes, no? I'm just curious. Yeah. And in case you don't have this dynamic coming out relationally, it might come out in other ways. Like if you're I say it's like a part, like shamanic traditions will say it's a part of your soul that has left. So this whole practice of soul retrieval, like it could be, you're missing your adventurous side. Like you've become all like work and no play. Maybe you miss play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Or maybe you are missing like God in you. I read this lovely book recently, by Pico Iyer, the travel writer, and it's called Half Lived Life: Explorations of Paradise. And he every chapter is in on a different like spiritual place that he's exploring, and what is his concept of paradise. So he's going to Varanasi, he's going to Kashmir, he's going to Jerusalem, and finally in the last chapters he's saying it's not nothing. Yes, the external seeking has helped, but it's really that inward connection and that inward union. Sometimes the external place can evoke, but it's really that inner union. And in the deeper sense, I think most longing is longing for part of your soul, or you could say, if those of you believe in the divine, it is longing for the divine. It is longing to be in that union. So these are questions you can just contemplate on a bit. What parts of you have you been giving up that you miss? And you have mistaken that as an absence of someone else or something else in your life. What part of you have you been giving up that you miss, that you have mistaken as an absence of someone else or something else? Would it be okay if you looked into the person you were before all this happened to you? Would it be okay to acknowledge you? Would you be willing to honor that part of you that would like to come forth and sparkle? Everywhere you have forgotten who you are you now willing to get that smoke get uplifted so you can see yourself shining clearly? So let's just take a journal, or like you can on your notepad, and we'll just reflect a little bit, meditative reflection before our practice. And the question I give you is, who, yeah, who is it? What have you forgotten about yourself? What are those parts of yourself that you've been, what is it that you're longing for, that you have lost your way in seeking the external? And what are those your essences that you wish to sort of bring back? Who were you before all of this happened to you? What have you forgotten? So let's just contemplate. You can write a bit. I'll also get my book behind you.
Michelle, can you repeat the first part, please, of the question?
So, what are parts of yourself that you have abandoned? What is it that you're longing for? Which parts of your soul are you longing to come back to? Who were you before all of this happened? So, you can take any of these things that are resonating and just take the pen to the paper and just journal. It's when you create awareness around it. And it's not to analyze, therapize. It's just when you create awareness around it, it's so powerful. That in itself can invite it back. Is that clear? Angel, that was your voice, right?
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah, and if you have reflections, please share them on the chat. Like some of you are saying, oh my gosh, this is really my story. Vidhi says, in this story, the before version is the now of me. And when the he entered was exactly how it was, the before of me. Wow. So just a few minutes of contemplation and then we will go there. We'll experience it. Okay? Smriti says, because of professional commitments last 6, 7 years. And yeah, like sometimes I think in our 20s and our 30s, 40s, we can be so focused and driven on certain things that we just really miss certain things. My inner power, communication with myself, and connection to superpower. Wow. Alma says that she's realized that she's been missing myself for the longest time. Such a powerful statement. Like we really think that we're missing the another person sometimes, and we can be so stuck in that painful craving, missing ourselves. So just a question to see what's coming up from your reflections. What is that? What is a part of yourself you are wishing to invite back? You may read everyone's reflections, they're so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your personal thoughts. Take another 2 minutes to wrap up your notes, and then we're going to practice. Um, it's very powerful to just have the awareness. It's more powerful now, where we will enjoy a practice to become one with the longing, become one with those parts of ourselves. Are you ready to go back to being free spirited or magic, or to be one with the divine, to yeah, one as the instrument of the divine or the true self, whatever it is? So this is a very different kind of meditation. It's not like the a formal meditation which we practice every day. This is one of those, I would call it a meditation towards wholeness, wholeness of being, to feeling complete in ourselves, to feeling whole. Say it's like a healing practice, something that you can do from time to time. Are we ready? Shall we go in? So choose a posture that is comfortable for you. Some of you might choose to do it lying down. You may do so. You can practice this lying down. Just stay awake. Some of you might prefer to sit like me. No hard or fast rule. Just stay with the sound of my voice. I'm going to guide you on an inner journey to connect to those parts of yourself. Call back parts of your soul, essences, to become your longing. Let me also record it on the other phone. Where did I keep the phone? Just in case we want it. All right, let's begin. Be prepared for like a 20-30 minute kind of practice. Okay? This is a guided meditation with the intention for wholeness of being, to call back parts of our soul that we are longing for, call back essences, the essences we long for the most, whether it's magic, peace, love, Please begin by just listening to the sound of the bell. This is a sacred invitation for you to come back home. You've been journeying, seeking from other places, from people, from things, from books, even from gurus. But now it's time to come back home. As I name different parts of the body, please allow those parts of the body to relax. Let the muscles in these parts of the body unclench. Relaxing the face, the eyes, cheeks, jaws. Relax the shoulders, the neck, throat, your entire head region. Relax your hands, relax the chest, the belly, relax the entire back, the spine. Let all the tension of your life that you're holding in the back be taken away. Keep surrendering all the tension that is being held in the body. Surrender it to a higher power. Relax the hips, the legs, knees, feet, any places in the body that have a little bit of more tension. Breathe into it. Any pain, any illness. Take a few deep breaths in those parts of the body and keep surrendering, keep letting go. You don't have to carry the burdens all by yourself. Step totally in now into the sanctuary within, and please say a prayer. Set an intention or pray that you become one with everything that you're missing in yourself, in life. Pray that you become one with God, or one with love, one with peace, one with abundance, one with the parts of yourself. Express this sincere intention. And if you believe, then invoke the help of a higher power. Let the angels help you. Let the saints help you. Let the masters help you. Let the Divine Mother and Father help you. For a few moments now, we will be with just the breath as it's naturally happening. I will invite you to choose one word. It could be an essence that you're missing, like God essence, like divine, or love, or peace, magic, abundance, whatever it is. Choose one word that you feel in separation from. And as you breathe in, you chant the word like a mantra. As you breathe out, you chant the word. So, for a few moments, feel your breath, inhaling, exhaling, the movement of the body, and say the word, and slowly start to feel the word within you. You can even choose two words like divine magic, love, joy. And start to feel the word inside your heart, like this essence is in your own heart. Come home to your heart space. Now drop the word and just stay with this feeling in your heart. Whatever it is that you're longing for most, allow yourself to feel it in your heart. And if you're unable to access the feeling in your heart, then visualize a moment from your life where you experience that feeling. And then allow yourself to feel it and just marinate in that feeling in your heart. Go back to a memory from recent past where you felt it. If it's freedom you're longing for, visualize yourself maybe running on a beach when you were young. And connect with that sense of freedom that can be found in your heart. This is called a recollection prayer. Recollect that feeling in the heart. It's God that you're missing. Go back to a moment in your life where you felt the presence of the divine and recollect that feeling in your heart. Stay with it. Then go a step deeper. Visualize yourself now stepping into your own sanctuary, just a sacred space of your own, where you go inside the sacred space and you sit at an altar or you sit in front of like a holy fire. Let a part of yourself that you no longer connect to anymore in your life. Maybe it's a part of you that's very fearful. Maybe it's a part of you that's obsessing about your health or your body. Maybe it's a part of you that feels trapped, a part of you that is stuck. Visualize a part of yourself that you no longer want to relate to and allow yourself to surrender this part of you to the altar, to a higher power, or to this fire. Thank this part of you and say, thank you so much. You have served a purpose in my life. And it's time for me to let you go now. So, this is usually the part of you that's keeping you stuck in the anguished longing. So, whatever is keeping you stuck in the anguished longing, surrender that part of you. So, visualize this part of yourself. Visualize this part of yourself that's anguish, that's suffering, that's overwhelmed, that's ridden with anxiety or grief or heartbreak or obsessiveness. And let it go into the fire or let it go into the altar to the higher power. Offer it a blessing and let it go. And if there are other parts of you also you wish to let go of, visualize them, thank them, bless them, and release them. This is not me any longer. Whatever vicious cycles you have found yourself in, it's not me anymore. And once you have surrendered and let these parts of you go, it's time now to call back parts of your soul that you miss so much, that you long for so much. Whatever it is you're longing for, allow yourself to visualize this part of yourself or visualize the essence in a personified image of you. You can choose however many you see. You're sitting at the altar, you see maybe two parts of you, three parts of yourself, four essences of you, whether it's magic, magnetism, wildness, fearlessness. So take a few moments to look at these essences, look at the visuals, what appears to you, and notice how you feel seeing them. Maybe it's a happy version of yourself, it's a freer version of you. Maybe it's the goddess in you. And you get that feeling, that's who I am. That's who I am. You may even remember, recollect moments in your life where you were a particular way that you miss. And visualize all these parts of you that you're seeing, whether it's 1, 3, 5, stepping into you and becoming one with you. And as you're stepping into you, notice how that feels. It's a very beautiful, powerful feeling as you're stepping into you. You're becoming one and whole and complete. So start to sense in your body, in your emotions, how it's feeling as you merge with every part of you, every essence of you that you are feeling pain of missing. And once you merge with it, notice how great it feels to be one with yourself, to be whole, to be complete. And stay with that feeling in the body, in your energy field, in your emotions, and deepen into that feeling. That's really important. Deepen into the good feelings. It feels so whole and complete that you don't have to run helter skelter, seek, chase. Everything comes to you. You don't have to go after it, it comes to you. How can you be thirsty when you are the water? How can it be dark when you are the sun? We will end our practice today with a recollection prayer. Simply just connect to your heart space. And if you believe in the divine, allow yourself to soak in the divine love in your heart. And in case you don't believe in the divine, allow yourself to feel the oneness of this universe in your own heart, in your own body. And just rest here for a few moments before we end. Rest in this beautiful oneness, merging with the divine love, just always here now, or just feeling held by the whole universe. You're not separate from the universe, but you're one with it. And like the divine itself, like you're a goddess or you're a god itself, or you're a powerful being in itself, radiate this essence to every being on earth. Radiate blessings, immense blessings to every being on earth. As you have this power in you, have this Shakti in you, have this love in you, radiate it to everyone. The animals, the birds, the trees, people. And let's join our hands in prayer position at the heart. Just offering our sincere gratitude and thanks to the group, to all the beings with us, seen and unseen, to the divine, and to anything special that you have connected with today, whether it's an awareness, an insight, a feeling, or a union. And please take a few deep breaths. And whenever you feel ready, you may open your eyes.